has kind of left... I feel like it opens it up a little bit more for a more balanced playthrough for both players, regardless of like skill or whatnot.
Yeah, and the interesting part about it, getting that early progression items, is it usually sways the way you start routing kind of early, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, we got a map check already. Pendant Eastern. Oh, double map check. So Pendant Eastern, we got crystals at Desert Palace and Tower of Hera. Do you do the early check just so you can not have to worry about it later, or do you like immediately start thinking about how you're routing this?
I like to do it after.
I guess you wait until you get that first item and then go from there, but...
Yeah, I don't think it makes a difference, but I like to do it after, because I like to try to get that sub-6 escape, and you ruin that by map checking. Come on.
I know, right?
Oh, it's dead anyway. Good.
It's dead.
Blue Vein, you're not getting it.
Yeah, this is probably one of the worst starting items for not only just getting through this section, but trying to farm that first bomb drop, and eLmaGus drops it a little bit too soon and misses killing both these guards, but backup strats using pots to clear them out, and 300 rupees right off the bat, so yeah. I could already assume that Houlihan's going to be dead in this run.
Yeah, that's a pretty good call. You get 50 in Kakariko on their own, just from the rupees there, and we're probably going to see another like 100 or so just out of random breads on the way, so it's pretty close to just not needing money anymore at that point, so it's just going to be when that last 300 hits them. And the other thing, interesting thing here is eLmaGus seems a little more oriented in killing these green guards. I noticed Flip skipped both the front two. He's even going to come back and kill one here too.
Yeah. We've seen like the very first green guard you run into dropping a bomb, and then you could just not have to worry about bombs ever again, or at least for the rest of Escape. It's a really hard thing to try and balance, because you don't want to obviously use up all your magic, because you need it in order to get through Escape, but you don't want to have to come back here later with a bomb and the gloves, or check those last 3 chests.
And even if it might be kind of slow to constantly kill stuff, like it even might waste time over coming back with gloves at some point. But at the same time, if this thing in the back cave there is a useful item, it's good to have it now instead of later, so you really do want to try to get those bombs. Plus, getting, say, an 8 drop helps in Kakariko as well.
Oh, definitely. Oh, wow. Well, that's going to speed this up a little bit. Maybe we'll still get that sub-6. The fortunate thing about getting that mirror there is that once they grab Zelda and get that chest, they'll be able to mirror out, and it'll actually put them right at the beginning of Hyrule Castle, so they don't have to worry about backtracking at all.
Yeah, it's definitely going to make up for the blue cane. Not the greatest starting weapon, but we got some speed tech to go along with it.
Yeah, and the thing is, there are certain areas that you can utilize the Cane of Burna to try and farm bombs a little bit quicker than taking out every single... Oh, well, there's bombs. All right, problem solved. Yeah, everything resolved itself. They don't need to be farming at all anymore.
That works out really well for Flit, because I believe eLmaGus got a little bit luckier, and I believe he got a full magic drop somewhere in this as well to make him got a lot more fuel in his Burna, so he could have farmed the rats and the snakes to make his life a little easier.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That one hallway, that little U-shaped hallway that has a bunch of snakes in it, or I think 2 screens later, there's like top right corner, there's a bunch of rats in the sewers that you can kind of take out all at once. Fortunately, regardless of whether you get a friendly magic drop, there are a couple magic drops in that room that our players are right now, as well as a couple screens later.
Yeah. eLmaGus might farm these anyways. No, he's not going to. There's sometimes you might want to go for it anyways, just to try to get the extra bombs, because 3 isn't exactly enough to go through all of Kakariko without buying, and that could make or break a Zora visit at some point, but it's pretty low percentages, so it might not be worth the time loss.
I'd say there's a good chance that we'll find another 3 bomb, or even that beautiful 10 bomb in a Bomb of the Well or Blind's Basement, or...
We do have, I believe, like 14 chests left before we start worrying about bombs again.
Nice. No issues getting that small key. Find out what we got in the back of here.
Got a dangerous rat army waiting for Flit. Bad RNG there, but he dodged it all.
Ooh.
Ooh, there. That's.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Hello. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that would have been a horrible situation to be in if you didn't find bombs. And I guess getting bailed out, or getting really lucky getting a 4 bomb drop from the rat, so he's going to be able to skip bind bombs entirely.
Yeah, with
Holy cow!
it'll be a little bit close. He might still opt to buy it, but it could save him the 50 rupees. It'll depend on where they choose to
good
go
items to
after
start out with.
Kakariko. Yeah, we're gloves and lamp, or just a flute away from basically the full Death Mound experience.
And the other nice thing is finding that bottle allows them to check Sick Kid the first time they're in there. Oh, Flip is he going to Houlihan, or is he...
This is interesting. This is definitely a Houlihan setup, but it's curious that he's choosing to do that at 300 rupees. I guess this guarantees a Zora trip, which is not a bad choice, because typically you like to go South Shore right away, right after Kakariko, and this will allow him to do that with a full set of money, which means he can guarantee a trip to Zora.
That's going to be interesting to see if he decides to go take the south route to Kakariko, if he's going to save him quick, go back to Sanctuary, and then walk to the north side. I like Houlihan. I'm not going to deny. There's Bombos in Lost Woods, so we don't know if that's going to be required or not. And I mean, there's what? A bomb purchase, that's 50 rupees. There's a bottle vendor, that's 100 rupees right there. There's a good chance for, and then with the amount of rupees you find in like Bomb of the Well and Blind's Basement, there's a good chance you'd still have your 500 regardless.
Yeah.
Or at least
what surprises me here is Flit didn't even go for the extra bombs on the grass there, which is kind of important because he only has 2, and if this is an item, which it is, he has to spend a bomb here. So he's definitely going to have to buy bombs at Kakariko just to be able to complete the well and the Blind's Hut. And then if eLmaGus finds boots here, he's going to save a bomb coming up into this room.
Oh, there's Moon Pearl. Now that's a good find right there. Oh, and Glove! Alright, well there's Dark World access right there. Once these players get through Kakariko, they'll be good to go.
Nothing huge going on in Kakariko yet. Oh.
Alright, let's see. Let's recap. So, Bombos for Magus. Moon Pearl. I'm hitting buttons. 1 second. Red Boomerang. What else did we find? Gloves for...
Hookshot Hammer gloves.
Hookshot Hammer gloves. Bottle.
What is the bottle? Got an ice rod for, I believe.
Just waiting. Oh, well, Flip is obviously holding the ice. He's got it in his hand.
Oh, there we go. That makes sense.
So that had to have been back at Tavern?
Yeah, I'll probably see that in a couple seconds from eLmaGus.
Well, this is going to be interesting. When you have both players going through Kakariko and getting their Dark World access just like that, do you still route the Overworld stuff, the Light World Overworld stuff, or do you go to the Dark World? I mean, they've got some hearts. They got a hammer. They got a hook shot. You know, they have the means to kind of keep themselves alive, to avoid damage along the way.
I don't know.
Didn't even notice the blue tunic that was sitting on the library.
Yeah, it's just waiting there. No boots, though. The Dark World is an interesting thought. I think you might be doing all of South Shore and maybe even a Zora trip before you even go there, but we'll have to see.
Well, that's the thing is... you could go straight to the Dark World, so you'd have to route, you have to walk all the way around, so Flip could go up, do Lost Woods, get his bombos, and then route back down. to go hop right into the Dark World, and then at least he could go all the way up to like even Catfish if he wanted to. Like that whole big loop.
Typically, it kind of seems like a terrible idea early on, but he has the mirror, which makes... I mean, you get a lot of mirror animations, which isn't the greatest, but at the same time, you get to do it all in one trip. You don't have to walk around the world twice or so.
Yeah, looks like eLmaGus is going to be hopping right into the Dark World, check Hype Cave, and let's see if he decides to go west to do Digging Game, or if he's going to go east to go up to do Pyramid Catfish.
I guess he's going to do the South Shore after Hype Cave.
Alright, so Crystals 5 and 6, Palace of Darkness and Ice Palace. And I believe the pendants were Skullwoods and Mire?
Fortunately, I missed that.
Alright, just a heart container from the generous guy in Hype Cave, and another heart container, and a heart piece, and a big 20, and a bomb capacity upgrade. That was a little, unfortunate.
Yeah, that wasn't great. I feel like he wanted to fit that in just because there's more odds of him getting money / flippers / pearl before he goes south. But not the case.
I mean, more help is good.
This is a good choice, though. We're buying bombs.
Yeah. They're a little expensive, but look at that, 25 bombs.
I did not realize we got that much capacity already.
There was a lot of them. I think there was 2 in Blind's basement, and then 1 was just in Hype Cave, so that right there is already plus 15. So yeah, that's it. That's all of them right there.
This is another interesting decision. Flip actually doing exactly what you mentioned. He is going to circle up and go straight into the Dark World here. Both players are skipping out on going South Shore to Mini Moldorm. The pendants were Skullwoods and a Mire that is green. Looks like eLmaGus is going to have the better side of this route just by the fire rod here. He's going to be able to do Skullwoods when he gets there. Although it is a pendant, so maybe that isn't the greatest. It's going to be, we'll have to see if it matters at some point.
Yeah, both of these guys still without a sword. So, swords are overrated, man. When you got a hammer, like, you're good to go. Don't worry about it. Yeah, with the mirror in hand, we could see if Flip's going to route up and do, you know, check Lumberjack Cave. Wow, first dig, big 20 right there. That's all it takes. You know, he might go check Graveyard Ledge, or hammer in hand, he might just go ahead and pop in and do Thieves Town. That's what it's looking like.
Swordless Thieves Town can be a little dangerous, but if you can,
it's not bad.
That scripted fight,
dude, it's easy. What are you talking about?
Hammer out. It's a scripted fight. Will.
Yeah, it's good. It's great. Let me just give you a little round of applause.
eLmaGus has chosen to go back into the Light World, which kind of makes a lot of sense. There's 7 quick items here. A book. That's desert access. Not that that helps too much right now.
Yeah, no fire source, no boots. We don't know what's on Desert Ledge. And we don't know if we even have access to the 2 items in Desert. We do know it's a crystal, so that might be good. And a lot of times you might see, you know, book leading to... That's not it. Book leading to, like, the Titan Mitts or something, or the flute. Oh yeah, now Houlihan's officially dead. There's another 300.
It's dead for Flip, but eLmaGus might be wishing he had done it.
That's kind of the downside of the route he's making here. Well, let's see if Mini Moldorm Cave's going to bail him out. I don't know. 7 hearts. I mean, he does have the hook shot. 2 hearts.
So it's looking more and more dangerous every step we take through this Thieves.
Oh my gosh. So Hype Cave and Mini Moldorm Cave just having nothing but hearts and heart containers for the most part. Jeez. Yeah, this is looking a little dicey. He does have a fairy in a bottle, so he can play a little recklessly for now, but you kind of want to hope that you don't need it until like the blind fight or something like that.
Yeah, it's funny too, because if you look at what eLmaGus is doing, he's gotten pretty much nothing out of this entire section that he's done. Aside from that, I think he got a fire rod. We should probably mark that.
Oh, he did?
But,
where'd you get that?
Yeah, he got that from Stumpy. Chat
okay.
pointed it out. I had missed it as well. The technical stuff going on. But yeah, eLmaGus has done all of this so far, and he's pretty much nothing to show for it. But Flit is in here with 7 hearts, which is also scary. So it's kind of like, I don't care that I didn't get anything. I'm healthy and I won't die anymore.
And there's
and now I have half magic.
It keeps on getting better. I mean,
that is true, actually. Flip has Burna for blind, so he should be okay.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have half magic Burna.
No, he doesn't. It's gonna be. Oh my god.
He's got to be careful here.
Those things hurt.
They do a lot of damage. I mean, here's the thing. Yes, eLmaGus has done a lot of extra stuff that didn't really lead to too much, but at the same time, it's locations that Flip is more than likely going to also do at some point.
Yeah, so it's not wasting time, and he's got all this HP early, so when he heads over to blind, it's going to be a lot smoother for him. I think this is going to be Sequence Broken Death Mountain.
All right. Now we haven't seen Lumberjack from either player, correct?
I don't think so.
Okay.
A Flip definitely has never gone this direction, that's for sure. eLmaGus I wasn't 100%, but I'm pretty sure he's under the get boots first strategy that a lot of the top runners use.
It's a lot easier as well when you have the mirror, because like you can go up and check Bumper Cave and then mirror and go check Lumberjack if you need to.
It's always a good strategy to try to combo with stuff. I like to do it with the tree pulls and such, but it's not always the optimal strategy.
Well, eLmaGus getting a second bottle from the old man.
I think eLmaGus here would be, aside from Sword, most happy to see Mitts to complete this perfect cycle of Death Mountain.
There's another bomb capacity upgrade. Jeez. That's that. We'll put you at 30 bombs. And Tower Hera is a crystal, so he'll be able to go up there, and he does have a fire source now, so if Hera Basement is required or holding an item, he can knock it out. The only problem about this is he's going to have to come back up later, potentially with the book, to check what's on Ether Tablet, which
no
might be able to check sooner.
Fortunately for eLmaGus. And as usual in Thieves Town, that big chest, if you have the hammer already, is empty.
As is tradition. Alright, let's see this blind fight.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that much
now.
magic.
Is a scripted fight. Not when you are using a hammer. It's a lot harder.
A little bit.
Ooh.
Oh, jeez, come on, Hammer. What are you doing?
His hitbox, terrible.
It's so bad.
Dodging pretty well, though.
I would switch, I would switch to Burner right now.
Yeah, that was, he had to do that because of the hitbox, or the knockback on the hammer was going to kill him there.
Dude, that was pretty close. I mean, he did have a fairy, but it's nice to be able to save that fairy for later. With that, 18 minutes, 30 seconds, we have our first crystal. Thieves Town, holding nothing really of value aside from the crystal. Well, I had the book, but the book is always a red herring.
He could check pedestal right away if he wanted to, and that would give him all. Which, I mean, he's not going that way. If he goes that way to do Skullwoods, he could check like the front half, mirror, and then determine if he ever has to go back. Which would be a good thing to do, but it's kind of like such a low percentage play for such a long walk. Maybe when you get boots, you think about that.
Yeah,
not that boots are directly related to a pedestal. It's just faster.
Speaking of pedestal, just kidding. eLmaGus finding the bow in the middle of Tower of Hera. So far, basement not required, so having a fire source didn't really make a difference. Though by logic, you either need to have the lamp or the flute to be up here. The bow's really nice to have right at the beginning, and with a Crystal Eastern Pendant Eastern, but Crystal Pod, he might even go ahead and, sequence break to go do Pod at some point.
Yeah, and knowing that the bow is probably locked behind the lamp, depending on where that flute is, you might just not worry about having to do whatever it was that gets you that, because it's just a lamp. You have the fire out already.
Yeah, if you already have the
Not too
fire
concerned.
rod, you can pretty much get away with not having to get the lamp, unless it's like an Aga Tower seed.
Yeah, and you kind of are on the assumption that anything bow locked could have the same progression, because if you get the lamp anyways, it's all unlocked anyways. So. We'll see where they go though. It kind of
Yeah.
depends on that. Are we getting a spike cave already?
Well, he's got the tools for it, and he's got the help too.
Have we gone?
Get his fire rod. And
I'm not
we
sure
saw
we've
this.
gone East Mountain yet though.
No, not yet. Looks like he's gonna route down, get this, save and quit, and then probably head over to East. All right, that puts eLmaGus's bomb count up to 35 now, and then once he does East down, he'll be at a cool 40.
Maybe we'll see some bomb strats on land molas or something just to get rid of these bombs, use them up.
Maybe on Helma. It's been a long time since we've seen that beautiful bomb strats on video. You know,
Yeah.
I think we're due. I'd say.
I don't know. We got a bow and already a minimum of 30 capacity. I think
Nah,
great as well.
Yeah, we are getting to East Death Mountain, and eLmaGus with mirror in hand will allow him to route up through this cave as opposed to entering from the downside, because he can mirror to despawn this block. Saves a little bit of time. You just have to walk through those stupid Tektites, and when you're at green mail, they do 2 hearts of damage each.
Typically, you have a sword for that, so it's a little faster, but... Oh.
There you go. Here's your sword.
Okay.
First sword, sequence broken. Wow, that bomb did not hit any of the mini Moldarns.
Yeah, that's... Oh.
Hey, look, a sword. Dude, maybe we'll get it just like a...
How did that just live a sword swing? That was Master Sword?
Don't they take 2 hits?
With Master Sword? No.
No?
I'm so confused. Maybe it didn't actually hit it.
Maybe he poked it? I don't know.
Oh, it could be a poke. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
eLmaGus going for the bomb jump, but it looked like he lined up a little bit too high. It's hard to tell when everyone's playing as their own favorite sprites instead of the best sprite around. Which I don't need to name because you guys already know who the best sprite is.
Yeah, it's clearly Luigi.
Don't have to name it. We already know. I've carried 2 swords already in Death Mountain. Be excited to see if we find a couple more while we're up here. Nothing up there. Well, he doesn't have the mitts, so we'll have to wait to find out. I don't know. I'd anticipate eLmaGus going for Eastern Pod next. You know, you can go straight to pods, set that up. That's one of the crystal fairies as well, the pyramid crystals.
Yeah.
And then he might mirror and check Eastern. I don't know. It's a tough call.
He's got a decent amount of health too, and another immunity tool to go with it. So 10 hearts going through that dark room stuff feels pretty comfortable. Mm-hmm. And with the fire rod, you can easily light up the turtles, so you don't have to worry about if you're going to mess up that fight. Because doing that dark room purely in the dark is just miserable.
It's not too bad when you at least have Master Sword, because you can kind of just do the NMG strat and just muscle memory it, feel it out, hope for the best.
Yeah.
It sometimes works.
Sometimes you'll get the first 2 up to 4 as a quick kill, and then you kind of just wing it on the last 2 and you don't take too much damage. Sometimes you get lucky, but if you're having a bad day, those turtles just run over you.
Yeah, they sure do.
Looks like it is the choice that he's going to go for, though.
Might check Pyramid on the way there first.
Yep. Might even be here to check Zora as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Hopefully he finds flippers here to round it out.
Our first fake flipper of the run. Flip going to go up and check Hobo and probably route down to go check the Zora domain area, Waterfall Cave and stuff. Or wait, did eLmaGus do that? He might have done that.
I don't believe he did.
Or did he save and quit out of Ice Rod?
I think he saved him quite a Ice Rod.
Okay.
Just a 20 on the ledge there, nothing too good.
Such a quick check. It looked like a second hook shot.
Yeah, the little screen tint, it was hard to tell.
You get a... Dude, what if this game had the double claw shot? That'd be slick. Ooh, Ether Medallion.
Adding some likelihood of Flip not having to double back on a Mire or Turtle Rock once he goes there.
Yeah.
You just need that Canis Amari to feel comfortable doing that, though.
Yeah, we technically only need one medallion for T-Rock. That's assuming we don't have to go into Mire at all.
Yeah.
So this could end up being a fluteless seed. But I highly doubt it.
We'll see. It's all about where that lamp is right now. And I have a feeling eLmaGus is going to find the mitts in this pod here. Have we actually checked this? Oh my god, we haven't.
No, they haven't. Neither player has been to East Palace area. Which is...
seed,
yeah.
I forgot entirely.
Yeah, when you get Dark World and Kakariko, it's kind of hard to make that choice to go over there, unless you already have the bow. And for a good reason. 2 big 20s and 10 arrows. Come on.
Needed those arrows for pot. Oh, there we
Well
go.
then, there is
So
the
flippers are either early or flute locked, right?
Yeah. Huh. You know, when you get something like that there, you gotta start thinking, like... You gotta start trying to put the pieces together, put the piece of the puzzle together. Like, alright, flippers lead to lamp. So, I know I can't find flippers on Death Mountain, unless... Dude, okay, Flip got super lucky there. He was water walking, he got hit, but since he landed in the shallow water, I think he was fine. Otherwise, he would have, like... Actually, I don't know. Would it have insta-killed him?
I think in this case, you just get stuck on the water permanently when you water walk.
It's like when you bonk whilst water walking, then you just kind of stand in place forever.
Yeah, it's one of those situations.
So, he got pretty lucky there. That could have been horrible. But this might be the Death Mountain play from Flip. Maybe we'll even get a Lumberjack check at this point. Speaking of well, at that time, eLmaGus going through Palace of Darkness. He's got the bow in hand, but he's still going through the normal route. Probably go check the vanilla big key chest, hop down, check that, and then go through the portal and go through the bow section.
Yep. But the mirror pods can be pretty easy to route. It's a lot nicer when you have that mirror already in hand.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, definitely. Pod can be one of those really annoying dungeons that you have to have fun doing death warps and stuff. And there's the last medallion, Quake, in the vanilla big key chest. So, we've got them all.
This is a...
Oh
no.
God. Oh, that's horrible. That feels horrible.
So that means flippers are early. They have to be. Because the only swords we've seen are up on the mountain. And the cape was also up the mountain? Spiral, I think?
Yeah, Spiral Cave. So that means that flippers have to be either in Eastern or in Pod. Or in Skull Woods.
Yeah, it's
Or Graveyard Ledge, I think is the last option. Or Catfish.
There's a decent amount, but it's not looking friendly right now. Yeah,
that's... I don't know. I feel like that flute there is kind of one of those things that you'd rather just not see. Like, that ignorance that eLmaGus is gonna have now. Like, the lack of knowledge of that flute there is probably... a lot better than knowing that flute is there, because like getting the book or the shovel or something. It's like, I don't know if this is required.
It's gonna give Flip a lot of intel though when he picks up all that, the tools, the swords, and the cape. If he puts it together to figure it out, he'll know that flippers are super early, and if they have trouble finding it, he'll be able to get it for the swamp check once he gets that done. But he has to collect that information and figure it out for himself though.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. This seed is already very interesting. So far, nothing else in Pod aside from the Quake medallion. Let's see what else we can find in here.
Another dungeon that is fairly open to us, not fully, because fully open to us, is the Desert. Would be 100% open to us, because we got the book.
That is true. Yeah, we haven't been to the Desert area at all. And also, now that I think about it, Pod is actually locked by the flippers as well. At least everything forward. All these dark rooms are locked.
Yeah, that bow in Hera.
Not going to be finding flippers in here.
Yeah, Not too much to do in Eastern either. Both Armos in this last chest, usually is a big key, is going to be locked behind lamp / bow. So
Flippers to lamp to Death Mountain to get the bow. Wow, that's interesting. I'm kind of anticipating them sitting inside Eastern at this point. It'd be. I could see the game doing that. Be like, oh no, you're supposed to go to Pendant Eastern to get the flippers to then go up.
I'm feeling desert flippers.
Eastern flippers.
Are you gonna fight now?
Yeah.
Hoping we see a menu from eLmaGus soon. I'd like to see what he's gotten out of this. No bits so far. I don't think there was anything else too useful in his inventory. It was a quick check though, so I didn't get to see it fully. Alright, didn't look like anything new from eLmaGus' inventory here in the dark rooms. Pod has been pretty quiet.
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, that was a bit of an interesting play from Flip, backtracking through Spike Cave instead of saving and quitting. It seemed like a unnecessary use of your time.
I don't think there's any situation where it's faster to go out of Spike Cave unless you've got the boots to do a quick dash off of the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
You need an immunity for that. Granted, they have the immunity, but...
Yeah. Friendly Tower of Hereford, both players because of the basement locking. I think the basement locks the small key. No, they have the small key. But there's a map or compass down there, so... And, let's see the next couple dark rooms from eLmaGus. He does have the fire on hand, which he'll likely utilize to light the rooms to get through that annoying turtle room. But for the most part, Pod's been pretty straightforward. He's going to get his Pyramid Fairy Crystal, and more than likely will... I'd say, since he hasn't really found any progression in here, he'll probably mirror and check Eastern at this point.
Yeah, I think eLmaGus mirrors after this. It seems to me the most logical play. Flip obviously is probably going to check out the rest of the mountain. That might be why he chose to do Spike Cave before even going up to Hera, because Spike Cave is so hard to route in. Such an awkward thing to do.
I kind of like the Eastern play regardless, just because it's one of those early locations that anyone can do at any time after escape. So to put it off for too long is kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
If the answers lying within. And
especially
we have the mirror, like, you could check it and then never have to come back here, except for maybe to, turn in green pendant if we get to that point.
Yeah, and well, let's see here. If we know flippers are early, so I don't think they can be in Mire. No, they absolutely can't be in Mire.
I was about to say.
So then, there's pretty much nothing you could get from Mire that actually helps you anymore, is there? Maybe required boots?
No, because boots lead to flute.
Oh yeah, you're right. Bonking the tree, I completely forgot. So yeah, I don't think Mire can possibly have an item anymore.
Yeah,
unless
actually,
it's Samaria, exactly Samaria in Mire.
Oh, that's a good point. That'd be about the only thing. Man, both these guys having a little bit of trouble against these bosses. eLmaGus down to 2 hearts, is 1 hit away from dying, but manages to clutch it out. Saves and quit, not going for the Eastern play. And Flip taking a fall to Moldorm. Going for these hammer strats. Still without a sword, but he'll be rewarded once he goes to East Death Mountain. This fight can get a little out of hand.
Oh my.
Yeah, the problem is, like, at least with the sword, you can kind of just have it sticking out so that he has a little bit harder time trying to knock you off the platform.
There was some better RNG. Usually you like to let him go by you so you can hit him, but Moldorm was just all over the place.
What a jerk. Well, that's going to do it. That is crystal number 2 for Flip, and in my eyes, it looks like eLmaGus might be going for the Thievestown play. Or he's going to take that cape to go check Lumberjack. Or both.
Yeah, I don't believe any player has checked Skullwoods either yet.
No.
And he has the full clear potential, so he might go to do that right away.
Might. It is a pendant, so it might not be on his to-do list compared to, like, Thievestown.
Yeah, I know a lot of players like to just avoid Skullwoods if it's a pendant. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a quick check, but at the same time, you kind of don't like drop down the hole, run a couple circles, and it's kind of annoying.
Nothing on the Ether tablet. I'm starting to think now, as you were saying, that Desert Palace might be holding on to something. That early book always kind of partially leads you to Desert.
Yeah, although at the same time, can you really call a Thieves' Town book early?
Yes, they got Dark World and Kakariko. Of course it's early. And it was in the first chest in Thieves' Town.
At the same time, though, do you really want to walk on foot, bootless, all the way to the desert? That might be the last thing they do.
I mean, after seeing where the flute is, I don't really have a choice. Unless you could find the boots somewhere.
Yeah, with Eastern still to go, I think.
That's a lot. That's the thing. A lot of players would like to put off checking Desert or even like Ice Rock Cave until they find the flute, just to make it a little bit quicker. But much like, oh, I'm gonna check Lumberjack Cave. You know, when I go check Bumber Cave, once I find the mirror. Oh, mirror is in Lumberjack. Never mind.
Yeah.
Well darn.
Nothing going on in Skullwoods either. This is a pretty bad pendant dungeon so far.
Yeah, and he doesn't have that book, so he won't be able to check what's going on up at that pedestal.
Yeah, opting to do this before Thieves' Town.
I am curious though, if there was any time to check Eastern Palace, right after Pod probably would have been the time.
Yeah, I could see him going here instead, just simply because he hasn't done the Village Outcasts at all. So it kind of makes sense to go here and get it done at the same time. But you were also right there at Eastern, and I mean, eLmaGus doesn't have the intel that Flip does about flippers being super early, so he's probably not thinking about that at all. So he's less likely to check that early stuff. Whereas
Yeah,
Flip, I'm sure if he does Pod, he'll also do Eastern.
Magus might also be thinking about Dark Rooms still. Ooh, unfortunate. Getting hit by the Style Child right into the Wallmaster. Have to go through this stupid Gibdo room again.
Yeah, and no Kana Samari to make it quick, so it's going to be a long statue push. Although he's got the NMG strats, he knows how to...
He's got to be careful here.
He knew how to avoid them, but unfortunately he dropped the statue push a little too early.
Yeah. There's small key. It's like you're down to 2 hearts, and it'd be so much easier just to take the Death Warp, but you don't want to waste that fairy that you have.
Yeah. It's a good mindset to be avoiding Death Warps, especially because sometimes you just forget you have that fairy and you waste like a good 20 seconds dying and then getting healed and then dying again or something like that. In this case, I guess you just get grabbed by the Wallmaster, but it's still kind of annoying. I don't know if either player has checked the stun prize yet.
I don't think so. Okay, Flip gonna go straight to Palace of Darkness, not checking the pyramid. We'll see if he decides to mirror to check Eastern afterwards. And he'll have a little bit easier of a time since he did sequence break to get that lamp out of the Waterfall Cave. So. Another small key. Dude, Skullwoods. So that means Moth's gonna have something. Otherwise,
yeah.
Why would you be going back here to kill him?
This is exactly what you don't want in a Skullwoods that's pendant, because you kind of want to just get the 2 items and get out of there, or get the 1 item and just know that it can't be in the back or something like that. But he's gotten so many small keys and nothing going on. He has to go all the way to the end.
Sometimes players will just go straight to the back and take out Moth first, but when it's a pendant dungeon, that's not really as wise of a decision. Just because if the items are right at the beginning, then you can just, you know, skip so much extra stuff.
Yeah.
Master Sword, half magic fire rod. He also does have hammer, so he's got plenty of options here to take out Mothula as quick as possible. And switching to that hammer, which, as we know, does temper sword damage. But he needs Moth to get away from the edge.
I think he's about 1 hit away. Just has to not get hit by spikes. There we go.
There we go. Bit of a annoying fight there, and he gets the Titan Mitts.
Wow. Okay.
There it is. All right, good call.
It's kind of worth going through that terrible Skullwoods. The last item a mile away.
Oh man, so with that, what's he gonna head off to do next? He does have the cape, so he might still go ahead and... I'm just gonna save and quit. This might be a Death Mountain play then? No? Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't tell. But that's a huge call there. I mean, here's the thing, like, he could have done Eastern, but at the same time, is it worth checking Eastern when it's a sequence break with the bow compared to, like, getting the crystal that you have to get?
This is shocking.
What?
To go up the mountain here when you have Village of Outcasts still to clear, this is crazy.
Has he not done any of Village of Outcasts?
No,
I thought he did Digging Game, and then afterwards
he got the Digging Game. But I don't think he went into the actual... Because he hasn't done Thieves Town still, which is a crystal that you'd never go faster in.
Well, unless he finds the boots up here.
Yeah, that could do it. This is just... I guess you want to get it done and find out what Turtle Rock is. Make sure you don't need to find that ether.
Yeah, which we know was in... Where was that?
That was the Hobo.
Oh, yeah. A couple of big 20s.
Which, at the rate eLmaGus is going on, Flippers is probably going to be his go mode item. Depending on where that Samaria is hidden.
I wonder, if he finds Cane of Samaria in a Hookshot Cave and has the medallion he needs for T-Rock, do you think he'd go ahead and do it right now?
I think he does. He's got very little missing, and he hasn't figured out that flippers are required for flute, so he'll not be aware that it can't possibly be in T-Rock.
That
looks kind of unfortunate because it's kind of a go mode.
I think that was ether. I think that was ether for T-Rock. It was such a quick check. It's hard to tell.
That's a huge find. That's just really lucky for him. It was a little, I guess not, because you still need the Cane of Samaria portion of it, but...
Alright, well...
That was a useless
Dark World Death Mountain. Blue Mail is nice, but he's got plenty of hearts at this point, that it doesn't really help him too much. That extra bit of information is nice, but frustrating at the same time. So...
Yeah.
At this point, we're still looking for the flippers, because we obviously need them for Swamp Palace and the items that we found. Out of sync, out of logic. And nice little hammer jump from Flip. We know there's nothing else in Palace of Darkness, so... But the nice thing is having that lamp is going to allow him to get through here a lot quicker. At this point, I would assume eLmaGus is either going to go straight to Village of Outcasts and hop right into Thieves Town, or he might go do Bumper Cave, Graveyard Ledge.
Still avoiding the Thieves Town. This is crazy.
You know, some people like to live dangerously. Alright, let's see what our sequence break is going to get us today. It's a shield.
Oh boy.
Oh, great. Still doesn't check Lumberjack Cave while he's up here. If there was any time to go check it, that would have been the time.
This is probably going to help him, because I don't think that flute can matter. The Samaria chance is just so low, how much they have available.
At this point, eLmaGus could even sequence break into Ice Palace. That's on the table.
That is true. And as long as he gets those flippers at some point and doesn't see the... Like, if he doesn't see the flute at all, gets the flippers, and then finds the Cane of Samaria in something like Ice or Swamp or something, because there's a lot of Samaria locations in the game that aren't Mire.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel like there's a good chance that both players are going to put off getting that flute for a very long time.
Yeah, I don't think it's actually going to be obtained at all for eLmaGus for sure, but we'll see.
It's blocking 5 items. That's it.
Yeah, 5 items are blocked by that flute.
2 in Mire Shed, 1 in Checkerboard, and then the 2 in Misery Mire. Oh, well, I guess 6 if you count the green pendant. So
that's true. 6 items.
that's
7 with the pedestal, but pedestal is dead. It's not possible to be a required item anymore.
can't be cane, can't be flippers. Because of the fact that it led to lamp.
And
Yeah.
can't be boots because it needs to block the tree. As you reminded
Yeah, you're
me.
right. Look at that.
So pedestal dead.
Pedestal dead. Oh man, what a shame. I guess I could stop watching, right?
It could be the silvers, but I don't think either player will care at all. No one's going
That's
through a
true.
pedestal silvers at 4-0.
Yeah, I will say
Way there.
both these players are performing really well, like execution-wise.
Yeah.
I'd say they're relatively even.
Yeah, Flip, obviously less known than eLmaGus, but having been around for at least a year, he's clearly been playing the game a fair amount in his offline time just for fun. I believe this is his first tournament as well, so he opted out of the fall tournament that he was around for. Or potentially around for. He might have been away due to life things, who knows.
Ooh, he's got to be careful here.
Ooh.
No, there goes his fairy.
Fortunately, might not be too important, because he's probably going to get the blue mail on the mountain, and once you got blue mail and half magic and all the safeties in the world, he's probably not going to die again, so...
Alright, so moment of truth. Will Flip be marrying and going into Eastern Palace immediately after this? Or if he's going to follow suit like eLmaGus and go straight to Skull? Or finally go check Desert? We're still wondering what the heck's on there. Because there's, what, 4 items in the desert area?
Yeah. It's 4 whole items. 3 in the Eastern, so the flippers are more likely to be in Desert than Eastern. And I guess there are some other locations that they can be at. They don't have to be reserved to just those.
I mean, at the same time, if boots are required in Desert Palace, we might not even be able to get either of the items in that dungeon.
Yeah, that's true. We don't fully know about whether or not boots are required yet. So there is still that and Ganon's Tower to check. So we do know the boots are early on, so they're probably in a flipper blocked location or in Eastern / Desert.
Alright. Compass for the first item. Now, it's also still worth noting that if flippers, well, you know, the dark rooms that are still in Eastern Palace are technically flipper blocked, with that lamp still in the waterfall cave. So you can kind of get an idea. I can easily see flippers being in here to then lead you to the lantern to then come back here and like find something else, maybe.
Yeah, we could actually find boots here and have flippers be in the Bonk Rocks or Kingston.
That's true too.
That'd be an interesting twist on what we assumed would be an early flippers.
See, this is the fun part about watching Rando, is trying to figure out the seed before it happens.
Yeah, it's a fun puzzle. For sure.
And it's a lot harder to do whilst you're playing the game at the same time, because you're like trying to execute well, but trying to figure out what the game wants you to do.
Yeah, and a seed like this one has had so many different bits of information that they could use to try to manipulate the logic. Well, not manipulate it, but like learn what they can do off of the logic, and it's been wild. The flute on Aghanim. Oh my god. It's just more of it.
Okay, well that's the last item in sequence here. Everything else is going to be out of sequence. I gotta say, on a scale of 1 to 10, the complexity of the seed it's up there, my dude.
Yep. Are we gonna dig up some dirty old boots or flippers? We're missing a lot of footwear, I'm noticing.
Yeah, what's up with that? Where's my hover boots? Alright, so we've seen, what, 1 item so far in here? I think the last 2 items are coming up in Eastern Palace.
I was not counting, unfortunately.
Flip's gotta hope that the next 2 items are gonna be...
Oh, it's that, okay.
Alright! Okay, so boots are flippers blocked. So they can't. Flippers can't be in Bonk Rocks or King's Tomb at this point. So flippers have to be in desert.
That's actually a lot of information for Flip if he can piece that together, because that basically tells him, aside from the Cane of Samaria, where everything is.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Aga Tower is blocking off the flute up in Lumberjack Cave. We found the lamp was sitting in Waterfall Cave, so those are flipper locked, and the boots are blocked by the lamp, which are blocked by the flippers. So
yeah. And on top of all of that, pretty much every tool you possibly could have needed to go into Aga's Tower were up on the mountain as well. But
yeah, that's right.
That wasn't
Both swords
fully important at the time.
Yeah, so flippers have to be like in desert, because otherwise Aga would not be possible.
I'm trying to think if there's another location that could have been open to them at some point, but that would... Well, we got our mitts in Skullwoods, which is sword locked from the mountain. So unless there's a sword and the Cane of Samaria somewhere early, so that we could go... No, because you still can't even get to T-Rock. So yeah, it has to be desert.
Alright, so the nice thing for Flip, though, is because desert is a crystal, he'll be able to not only go there with the book in hand, but he'll be able to 100% complete it regardless of what it's required, because he does have the boots, so... Shovel was not lamp blocked. Shovel was in the big chest. So Shovel could actually lead to the flippers, which would lead to the lamp, which would lead to the boots. It's very possible. Isn't that fun? It's so fun. It's so stupid.
So right now, eLmaGus is doing something that can only find him the Cane of Samaria right now.
And, I mean, here's the thing. At the same time, if eLmaGus finds the cane, you know, Flip might check a bunch of stuff that might not even be required at this point.
Yeah, and it also might lead eLmaGus up to T-Rock, because he is 100% unaware of all the crazy logic nonsense that we've been going through.
Oh, there they are. Flippers from the blacksmith.
Really?
So, yeah. So you had to get the fire rod from Stumpy, kill Mafia to get the mitts, and then flippers right there.
So there's a sword early on, then. We're gonna...
Wait, how do you figure?
Because you need the sword to get to the Mothula, so there's a sword somewhere early as well.
Okay, so there's a sword in Desert Palace.
There's a sword in Desert Palace.
Or Catfish. Haven't been there either.
Wait.
Wait.
Dude, I'm lost.
Dude, I'm so confused right now. I was not expecting the flippers to be there. Huh. I'm curious to see if eLmaGus will go to Desert next, or if he's going to go ahead and hop into Swamp Palace at this point. Yeah, there'd have to be like a sword on Desert Ledge, or Agonist Cave, or just sitting in desert. We're kind of out of spots left, like that's it.
Yeah.
Right? That's gotta be it.
I'm getting a headache trying to piece this together.
I know, right? Dude, I had a headache coming into this, so this is getting worse.
Thought we nailed it, and apparently there was more to the puzzle that we didn't think about.
Alright, well, we're gonna find out. So Flip, with the huge advantage having the boots already, will be able to move around quite a bit quicker.
If he uses them.
If he uses them.
Flip, start dashing.
He's not doing it. Why is he not doing it?
Sometimes you forget after you've been walking for an hour.
50 minutes in water boots. I don't know. Alright, well, catfish check as well as a desert check. Let's see what we got. Heart piece. Where is that Cane of Samaria, man? I have no idea. Alright, so for this to work out for eLmaGus, he needs this to be the big key. Or small key leading the big key. Or there's the sword!
It's all coming together now.
Okay, so sword leads to Mothula that drops the mitts, which leads to the flippers, which leads to the lamp, which leads you up to Death Mountain to get cape and another sword, as well as gets you the boots in Eastern.
Holy moly.
What's the shovel leading us to? The cave!
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh. Alright, well.
I guess.
So this is blowing my mind, dude. All right, so Flip needs to go to fight Mothula. That needs to be his plan. It looks like he's going to go to Desert next, which, fortunately for him, or will he? Oh, this might be.
Go mode.
He's not in go mode. He needs the mitts.
Oh yeah, he hasn't gotten that stuff.
He needs the mitts, which lead to the flippers. Come on, Poot.
I'm lost, man.
Oh my gosh, this is. Dude, this is a noodle scratcher right here. I need this like a map, like someone needs to draw it out for me, because this is probably one of the most complex seeds I think I've seen and commentated and watched in a long time. Everything, it's not very often that we have these like long chains of events. It's usually just like, here's a random item here, here's a random item there. Oh, you need the lamp here, that led to this.
Yeah. And unfortunately, eLmaGus, that skipping on that eastern real early is going to cost him that long walk to the cane. He's probably going to clear almost the entire seed.
Well, here's the thing, though. That's 2 pendant dungeons that are required. We'll more than likely never see Meyer. So as long as Flip doesn't, like, for whatever reason, go for Aga Tower instead of going to Skull Woods or something.
It's possible.
Oh, there's our 3rd shield. We had 1 on Lumberjack Cave, or Bumper Cave, and 1 at Graveyard Ledge, so...
Some pretty garbage locations.
Yeah, I know, right? This is going to work out for Flip. He's going to be able to complete all of Desert here. First time, so he doesn't have to double back. And, you know, the longer eLmaGus takes to go to... Well, wait. Our boots aren't actually required. eLmaGus just needs to get the shovel out of Eastern to get the Cane of Samaria.
Yep.
And
so far not required. You haven't seen Yan's Tower yet, but
that's true.
We're fine there.
Gosh, it's such a wild seed.
This one's nuts.
Oh man.
We definitely get some treats when we commentate these.
Dude, there's like that one seed that was like a 45-minute Dark World entrance or something like that.
That was a long
That one was so stupid.
Okay, boots required.
Oh yeah, we already knew boots were required because Magus just got a sword and does.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah. Shovel and boots required in Eastern. I'm gonna enjoy his tempered sword upgrade. Alright, well, now that we know where everything is, now we get to play the waiting game. Just wait for these players to go to the other locations.
Players clearing crystal dungeons that they are required to clear. Flip doing them with the boots, so he's not going to be doing them any slower, I guess, sort of. He could have done them in go mode, but Desert's not one that you get much difference in go mode.
Honestly, I think Flip has just the advantage of the mitts. It's going to be relatively late for him because the mitts block off so many locations. The thing is, once he does get the mitts, is he going to be more inclined to hop into like Ice Palace or T-Rock versus doing the blacksmiths? That's the thing.
We'll see how much he chooses to do Dark World or dungeon-wise. Although, going to a Skullwoods Mothula just to get those bits, I feel... you're right, actually. He might come out of there and go straight to the blacksmiths and try to do that, but he also might think, oh well, T-Rock's open.
Yeah, well that's the thing, is like Flip's going to run out of stuff to do quicker until he gets those mitts. eLmaGus has a ton of stuff he can do right now. The fortunate thing is, without Knowledge of the Flute and without the Cane of Samaria, he's going to run out of stuff relatively soon as well. He'll probably still go full clear Ice Palace next, before he goes diving into Eastern Palace.
He's basically getting a go mode T-Rock, and that's pretty much it, which isn't really going to change anything for him. So he's got the full 7 slow crystals.
Oh, just shy of hitting the Fire Rod shot on the second phase of Argus, so gonna have to use 2 swords. It's kind of better that he missed the shot as opposed to like just hitting him once, because then if you just hit him with 1 Fire Rod shot, then you still have to do 2 more spins. So he was able to bring it back and still get the 2. Well, that's gonna be his 4th crystal. This is going to be interesting. The problem with eLmaGus is, like we said earlier, when is the next time he's going to go back over to... Why would he go to Eastern Palace?
Yeah, it's you've already basically been there, so why would you go back?
It's one of those
you
things
already checked Sahasrah's hut. It's such a low priority. Awkward land
that
bull.
Land bull is just barely dodging the shots. This is actually gonna be really interesting how this turns out. Both players now with the same level of sword means they're gonna have about the same amount of time dealing with these enemies. Flip with the slight advantage of having the boots is gonna allow him to route quicker. Oh, there's another bottle. So 2 items on left side swamp. So eLmaGus will be checking both of that. We already know that it's not any of the required items that we need.
Yeah. The advantage for Flip is guaranteed go mode Skullwoods and Ice Palace, but how big is that going to be?
For Swamp and Ice Palace?
Those 2, yeah.
Yeah, eLmaGus also still needs to get Ether Medallion from the Hobo. So if that was the required one. Well, let's see. What else is... Flip doesn't have anything left to do at this point, I don't think.
I don't think so. He's got pretty much nothing. Maybe he could consider going for the flute, but you can't really do anything with it still because you need the mitts to be able to go into Mire anyways, or go into the Mire area. So it's got to be Skullwoods for him. So, and you can't exactly do any of the other dungeons. Like you need mitts for ice. So there's just no options. It has to be this. You can't even sequence break. It's just not possible.
Yeah, it's going to be... The real curious situation is going to be what does he do after getting the mitts?
Yeah, it's going to be how long does it take Flip to get the flippers? Which is kind of ironic.
Mitts at an hour and... Oh, what? Where is he going? He might be checking Bumper Cave and Graveyard Ledge. I think we only saw that from eLmaGus, and we know both of them are shields.
Yeah, he never did go this direction. He's gonna get that sweet mirror shield if he picks them up.
Oh man, that's totally worth it, right?
It helps him get 4 perfect laser skips. Let's go up,
Alright, nothing on left side swamp, but we kind of already knew that. It would have been nice if eLmaGus found, like, silvers or something in his extra checks along the way. So we still don't know where those are either.
Oh.
This is looking like an Ice Palace play, or he might go ahead and check all the flipper locations and find that Ether Medallion soon. I don't think he's been here at all, so he's going to go ahead and check Lake Hylia Island.
Yeah, that's true. And Flip is probably going to go checkerboard, or not checkerboard, Graveyard Ledge into King's Tomb.
Yeah. 10 arrows. Alright, well, he's going to go get his Ether Medallion, which is good for him. He needs these. And he'll more than likely go ahead and do Waterfall Cave Zora before diving into Ice Palace.
Yeah, the good thing for eLmaGus is he's guaranteed to get the boots before the end. There's no chance that he skips them because you don't get the shovel in Eastern and go, oh, it's there, and bail, because that's just silly. You got things to find in Eastern. So
yeah,
clear that
especially because there's still 2 more items in Eastern after he gets the shovel.
And that's the ether he needed, so that's a good find.
And it's nice to find that before finding, like, Kina Samaria. I guess. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter for T-Rock, more so for Mire.
Yeah, and we're not going to Mire this one. This is 100% no one's seeing Mire this one.
I mean, could you imagine if Flip gets the mitts and...
There's the chance there, I forgot about that. He could get the mitts, go... Where would he go? He would clear T-Rock, and then go looking for the flippers.
Yeah, that's the thing is, he might go do that. He might go to Ice Palace. Or he might just go straight to Blacksmith and hit go mode, just like that.
But that's the thing, though. With Flip has the knowledge that it can't possibly be that. Like, based on where he's found everything, the flippers have to be earlier than Mire.
Yeah,
that was something he had pieced together earlier, so he should.
Well, he should know. If he's keeping track of things, he should know that the flippers can't possibly be in T-Rock or in Ice Palace or any of those locations. Yeah. Or well, obviously not Ice Palace because
Yeah, it's basically it's gonna have to be up the mountain, or on the blacksmith.
I could see him doing T-Rock over checking blacksmith, but at the same time,
Yeah, he might go up the mountain just to try to get those item locations out while he goes to T-Rock, and then from there he might just come back and be like, "Whoops, my bad."
it looks like eLmaGus is going for the Ice Palace play. He needs to go to Eastern Palace.
Although Flip should know that it can't be in Turtle Rock if he has that information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is looking like if Flip puts the pieces together, he is going to find those flippers real soon. And eLmaGus has to get a shovel from Eastern. It's going to be a tough find for him.
But at the same time, you know, when you're in a tourney race, it's really easy to just kind of autopilot and not even think about what the logic's trying to make you do.
And we've seen it from Flip earlier when he just lost the boots in his mind entirely. And I think several times he's had a little bit of a bit of pressure from the bosses, Helmosaurus specifically, that gave him a little bit of trouble. So he might not have remembered the logic. Pressure from the tournament might be on him right now.
You know, actually, I think that the knowledge of that flute might be what saves him. Wow, he just barely dodged that wall master there. That was close.
Thought he was going to dash, and I guess he just chose, no, I'm not going to make it if I dash. And got out just in time.
Because with flute there, that means he knows that the lamp was the only way to get up to Death Mountain. So, yeah, it's really good. I know we're kind of like repeating the same thing over and over again, but it's really going to come down to if he's putting the pieces together as he's going along. And you know, some of these dungeons are pretty laid back. You can kind of just relax and think about, all right, what did the game want me to do? Where's these items at? Where am I going? What do I do? Please save me. Yeah, this is, at this point, not looking too good for eLmaGus.
Yeah.
And it was
basically praying for the memory loss here.
Yeah. It's really all coming down for him of just not going for Eastern Palace right after pod.
The lumberjack check would have helped him a lot. Well, a bit. It would have helped him piece together the flipper's location, which he got already, but that doesn't explain anything for the Canis Maria, so I guess the lumberjack check helped Flip a lot, and it really didn't make a difference for him, I guess.
Magus gets the bomb jump. Flip having a little bit of trouble. Oh, wow, just barely. Man. Just enough to survive, and that is his Titan mitts, so it's all up to you, man. Where are you heading to next? It's kind of nice at this point, because he knows he can't do Swamp. He knows flippers aren't going to be an Ice Palace. He should know that T-Rock can't have it, or it's not even on Death Mountain. But he'll probably go ahead and check the pedestal at this point, and that will determine whether or not he needs to get that flute.
This tells me that he is not remembering the logic because it can't possibly be here. Oh my god.
Oh, and he saves and quits! Oh no.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not on the mindset of thinking about the logic because with the pieces that we have of the puzzle, it couldn't have possibly been there.
So
with
he's
the lamp
going...
being flipper locked.
Yep, he might actually dive T-Rock at this point. I mean, we have the benefit as commentators of seeing both sides of the table since we've seen both players getting items, so it's a lot easier for us to be able to put the pieces together.
I'm also not hitting keys on a keyboard to move a link around, so I don't have anything stopping me from spending this last hour thinking about what this could have meant. So he's got a lot of things to worry about, so he's probably not piecing what has been a complex puzzle together.
Yeah, it's been really cool. Like, this is a really cool scene. It's going to be interesting though if these two players end up clearing a lot more dungeons than they should or than they need to. If they end up finding, if one of them finds the silvers, like it's not that big of a difference, but it still might come in handy later on.
Yeah.
And based on how both these players, I mean, I know eLmaGus is comfortable with Silverless Ganon. I would assume Flip is too, just based on how he's been playing so far. he seems like he knows what he's doing. That's pretty important.
Yeah. And to clarify again, the logic, it was definitely troublesome to go through it on our own. So if I were racing this, I wouldn't have been able to pick this up. That would have been too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not too surprising that Flip has chosen to go after this stuff instead.
Well, let's see.
And
if he goes into T-Rock, then that's going to be good for eLmaGus. He'll be able to catch up a little bit.
You did get a blue veil out of this, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
This is looking like a T-Rock play. Yep. All right, well.
Magus is going to Desert next, though, most likely. So we have a little bit longer to wait before eLmaGus thinks about Desert, or Eastern, sorry.
Okay, yeah. He's almost done in Ice Palace. I mean, the thing is, even with this, though, it's going to be impossible for Flip to not go mode Swamp Palace and Ice Palace. And T-Rock is one of those dungeons that the difference between go moding it and full clearing it are not that huge, except for a couple mirror spots, like checking Mimic Cave. And depending on, it all depends on where that big key is, because if they can skip Laser Bridge, like, that's a good chunk of time that you save right there.
Yeah, and I just actually, thanks to chat's help, realized that with Boots in Eastern itself, Desert's not open to eLmaGus, and he is aware of that. So
yeah, well, he already went there once and got a Tempered Sword.
So he's fully aware that Desert isn't the next place to go, and with what he has right now, there's actually not too much.
I think the only thing he has left to do is go to Eastern.
Yeah, so this actually might just be the Eastern play follow-up. Yeah. And since he's finishing Ice right now, it's not too far away. I'm actually unsure if there's anything he can check. He hasn't done Ether Tablet. I don't think he's done Bombos Tablet. I've missed that portion. I think he actually...
He did Bombos. Yeah, he did Bombos into Desert check.
So he just has Ether Tablet, which he is absolutely not going to check right now. That's it's horribly out of the way.
Yeah, especially when you have the 3 items in Eastern.
Yeah, so he's got the Pyramid Fairy, Eastern, and Ether, I think, are the remaining options for eLmaGus, which Eastern to me sounds like the best choice, although what's it called? The Pyramid Fairy is also a pretty good check.
Pyramid Fairy into Ether? Or into Eastern Palace? It seems like a good route to make.
Go with that play.
And we saw early big key in Turtle Rock, so there's a good chance that, depending on how the keys lay out, that a player in go mode might be able to skip Laser Bridge. So, but this is looking like Flip's gonna full clear.
Yeah. There's nothing he can find in here that'll take him out of Turtle Rock, unless he sees like a powder and is like, that's it, we're going for that right now, and just bails out of Turtle Rock. It's a good thing he bought that blue.
Well, he wouldn't bail, he's got to finish the dungeon. He needs the crystal. Yeah, speaking of taking out those chain chops, we're giving him a bit of the business. This guys still do a lot of damage even when you're in blue mail. So other things that we're still kind of looking for, we've seen all the shields. We're still looking for another sword upgrade. We haven't seen silvers at all. The mushroom is on the pedestal, which we will not be getting. We haven't seen the powder. You know, the flute is at Lumberjack Cave, which we'll more than likely not be getting.
It's really just the powder that could throw another wrench into this for somebody. And with eLmaGus not finding it here, I'm pretty sure he's going to get those boots right now, and soon to follow up, get the shovel.
He might go up to Catfish first. I don't know if he's done Catfish yet.
I don't think so. He's going to take that long walk, but...
See, that's the thing, is like when you put off something like Eastern Palace, you just never want to go back.
Yeah, it's such an out-of-the-way dungeon when you don't have boots, you don't have flute. And we know for a fact eLmaGus won't get those until he goes there.
And Flip is going to be full clear in this entire dungeon. The middle chest, the vanilla big key chest holding a compass, ate up his last key, so there's going to be a small key I mean, there could technically still be a small key in the big chest and then a small key right before you get on stairs, which would allow him to skip Laser Bridge, but he's looking like he's gonna full clear this thing, so...
Yeah, you're looking for that one item to get you go mode. You don't want to skip anything.
I mean, here's the thing. Even after... All eLmaGus has to do is get the shovel boots, finish desert, and go up and do T-Rock. Oh, there's the powder.
Oh, no.
All right, well, that's good for Flip.
That is good. That's actually true. That'll take him towards that location.
Well, he was going to go there anyway since he's out of things to do. But oh, it looks
well,
like
technically
eLmaGus...
he could have gone for the Aga play, like a madman.
eLmaGus is checking Ether Tablet. He really does not want to go to Ether.
This really doesn't like Eastern. We're gonna see both players completely drain their resources before they check that last location.
It's really hard to tell. I mean, Flip also... I think Flip still has overall the advantage, just because of the amount of stuff he's going to get to sequence break, and the extent with which he's had the boots this entire seed. Oh, look, see? 2 keys. He could... eLmaGus, when he gets up to T-Rock, he's going to be able to skip a lot of it. He just needs to make sure to check, or get the small key from the big chest. Otherwise, he'll have to get another small key on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, this is going to be a close one. I feel like Flip has the advantage, though.
Oh, wait, no, because he could have the pokey key and then just get that one. He could skip the big chest as well.
Yeah.
All right, this is it. This is the Eastern Palace play for eLmaGus. But here's the thing: he could get the shovel and mirror out. He could get the boots and then go do all the boots locations, and that might actually make him check Lumberjack and see the flute there.
Yeah, he's definitely been putting off Lumberjack until he gets those boots, and that will be the next thing he finds. And just a Cane of Samaria away, he might think about it. It's our last sword on the Laser Bridge for Flip. That might be something eLmaGus does not get, because he should have the keys he needs.
Flip having a little bit of trouble with these laser skips, not using either of his safety items and just kind of just walking into them. But makes it through, only taking a couple dips, losing a little bit of time there. Well, that was cool. Yeah, Flip will be the first one to hit go mode. He still has to go do Swamp and Ice Palace, but he'll be able to go mode both of those dungeons and skip a good chunk of locations. eLmaGus has to go get that Cane of Samaria.
Will probably finish Desert if he gets the boots before he leaves Eastern.
Well, here's the thing. If he gets Shovel and boots, he'll probably go ahead and finish Eastern anyway. He might bail out. We'll see. He could check Shovel on his way to Desert, and he would hit go mode right then and there. We'll see. I can't imagine what these guys are going through. They got to be really frustrated. Especially a full clear T-Rock for nothing. Though he did get a sword upgrade. And the magic powder.
Sword upgrade, a crystal that is required. Very crisp kill on Trinex. And we noticed that Flip now is leading on that health. eLmaGus, I think, has gotten 2 hearts in the last, like, 40 minutes of play.
He got all of his good ones out of the way. But, yeah. Trinex, pretty easy fight when you have Butter Sword. Extremely easy fight. Alright, moment of truth. eLmaGus gonna get his shovel here in this big chest. What does he do? He needs to keep going. He needs to at least get to the next chest, which has the boots. And he's gonna keep going. Alright.
He knows there's 2 items left in Eastern, so it's a good chance that he finds the cane here as well.
Well, here's the thing. Desert is a pretty quick dungeon.
Yeah.
And eLmaGus will be able to finish that, go up and go mode T-Rock, and it's a pretty generous T-Rock. And then he'll be already up on Death Mountain, while Flip still has to go and go mode both Swamp and Ice, which are quicker, but still take a bit of time.
Yeah, and then he has to return up the mountain.
It's really hard to pinpoint. I still feel like Flip is leading.
Yeah, I feel like I personally think Flip has a 1-minute lead by the time they enter Ganon's Tower, but this could be horribly wrong. I don't have like math out for this at all, so it's like It's hard to guess, especially with their execution. We both don't know Flip's execution too well. I mean, he's playing really well, so it's probably great, but it's hard to tell how fast he will do these dungeons.
It's gotta hurt as well, getting boots right around the 120 mark when you could have had them at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Because, like, if these guys had gone in there at the beginning of the game without the bow, they would have, you know, not had to worry about coming back and killing Armos. They would have had the shovel, which would have led to Kane, and they would have had the boots, which would have led to just being super fast. But, this is gonna... I feel like this is gonna be relatively close. It still could come down to a GT route.
Flip is nailing out one more location to give eLmaGus some time.
Back even.
Do not be silvers.
Or do. Bet on who you're a fan of.
Well, I want to keep it close, and I feel like Flip's in the lead.
Oh man. Dude, Blue Boomerang is actually pretty OP in G-Tower.
Yeah, it's a slight tool that he will be using.
You're a slight tool.
Both players, unfortunately, not getting a perfect Armos fight.
Alright, moment of truth as well. We keep on having these moments of truth. Flip about to hit go mode at 1 hour, 20 minutes and 50 seconds, and he is off to the races. He's feeling pretty good right now. All comes down to what eLmaGus does. If he checks shovel spot first, he'll be in go mode as well. And
that is what
it's looking like it. Go west. He's going south. Okay, that's fine.
It's okay. Desert is just a simple clear anyways. So he's not going to lose too much time here.
Here's the thing. You know, eLmaGus still doesn't really have that many options left. He can finish Desert and spend a little extra time full clearing it. But then other than that, all he has, what? Bonk Rocks, King's Tomb. He could check Lumberjack.
Yeah, I feel like he might do that as a follow-up to finishing Desert, because Shovel is kind of out of the way.
Shovel is... I feel like if there was any time to check Shovel, it would have been on the way to Desert. You have to go do Desert.
Yeah, you kind of can route that in. It takes a little bit less time that way, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah, because he would aim for, like, chest efficiency, so he would more likely go to King's Tomb, Bonk Rocks next.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be like he's gonna do those two, and then he's gonna go check Lumberjack, see the flute, save him quick, go to Link's house, but then check Shovel instead of going to Agate Tower?
That is true. He might consider going to Agate Tower for the flute. That would be heartbreaking, but he would have to forget the shovel pretty much to go to Agate Tower ahead of checking the shovel.
Mm-hmm. Remember, guys, there is quite a bit on the line in this race. The winner of this is already guaranteed a spot in the next stage of the tournament, in the bracket stages. So, winning this week makes the next 2 weeks just, like, casual. You can just have fun. It doesn't even matter. So, you wanna win right here, right now, just to secure a spot and not have to worry about it.
Both players going for Crystal 6. eLmaGus has a slight lead on getting to the Crystal, but he's got more to do non-go mode wise, so. This is a pretty close one right now.
Yeah. It all comes down to what eLmaGus does next after Desert. Yo, nice fight from eLmaGus. Quick kill. One cycle, land molas. Let's take a little bit of time there. Flip, gold sword in hand, gonna make this fight even easier, though it's still 2 spins to take out phase 2.
So far, this gold sword really hasn't done anything.
No,
everything
really.
that Flip has fought is dead to tempered sword anyways.
Well, that's the thing, is eLmaGus is likely going to be missing that gold sword. Wasn't it out on Laser Bridge?
Yeah, that was on Laser Bridge, and I think the key's lined up so that he doesn't have to check it.
Yeah, he might miss that. Which doesn't make a significant difference in, like, the Ganon fight if you don't miss the 1-in-1. Alright, Flip, 6th crystal. All he has left to do is finish Ice Palace. And getting to go mode Ice Palace is pretty nice. I think eLmaGus still needs to go check Agnes Cave, so he's just adding a few more, just extra seconds.
I wonder if the advantage that Flip has on the gold sword with Ganon is taken away from the lag it'll bring. Got it so early.
It's hard to tell. I mean, it's definitely going to make his Cold Stare fight a lot easier.
That's
a bit easier.
It's kind of annoying, but it's probably going to make Cold Stare about 10 seconds faster.
Mm-hmm.
You just get the spin and 2 slashes and it's gone. Whereas the tempered sword, there's a small chance it like overwhelms you if it comes in at a weird angle.
Man, looks like eLmaGus is going for the boots locations instead. Just gonna add a little bit more time. Yeah, I'd say at this point he would check Lumberjack Cave after this.
Yeah. I'm starting to think my 1 minute was too generous for eLmaGus. It might be a little more than that for Flip.
You know, T-Rock is a pretty long dungeon, even in Go mode.
Yeah. Thinking Flip might have upwards of 3 minutes.
But here's the thing, had eLmaGus stopped at Shovel Spot before going to Desert,
That would have been a close one. Yeah.
that would have been a close one, yeah.
This is gonna be it's gonna need some solid execution all the way through Ganon's Tower in the Ganon fight for eLmaGus to come back. Which
Yeah,
he is
that's the thing.
capable of it for sure.
There's, you know, these players have a lot of health. And I don't know if Flip has any more potions. I know he used up his fairy in a bottle.
Yeah, I believe he used his blue that he purchased as well in the chain chomp room. So I don't think he has potions left that will help him.
Nice first try bomb jump from Flip, saving him a little bit of time on eLmaGus, who had a little bit of trouble doing the bomb jump in Ice Palace. Alright, moment of truth. Again, is eLmaGus gonna go do Aga Tower, or will he remember his shovel spot? He's going to the shovel. Okay.
So he's gonna have the biggest moment of relief in his life right here. When he finds Samaria, does not have to do Aga Tower.
Dude, as a commentator, that was the last thing I wanted to see, was any of these players do Aga Tower.
Yeah.
We want close races. We want to be entertained.
Not only that, but Aga Tower is a snooze fest.
Yeah, it's pretty boring. And eLmaGus at 28 minutes. About 8 minutes. I'd say about a 7-minute difference in go modes between the two players. We'll be heading up to Death Mountain to go do T-Rock. Just as Flip is into the Cold Stare fight, so I'd say at this point Flip has 2-3 minute difference at this point.
Yeah. It's looking like a 3-minute lead. The benefit for eLmaGus is he's already up the mountain, but that doesn't mean pretty much anything when your opponent's going to be in Ganon's Tower by the time you're done. And when you dead rock yourself, just take the Dark World portal. No! This is actually better. Smart choice to dash away.
Well, would you look at that? Flip got his last crystal. Aw, man. You know what that means, Futon. It's time to play everybody's favorite guessing game.
Voltorb Flip?
Do you want to do the intro?
No, I really don't.
No? Yeah, me neither.
But they're on it.
Did anyone even start it?
No. There we go. It started now, guys.
Alright, great. I think it's going to be in chest number 18.
I've been going with 8 recently, which is the, if you're going left, the spinny fire stick room, which is 100% the official name.
The spinny fire stick room? Is that what you said?
Yep.
That's a good name. I like that.
That is twice now. Flip has dashed right down that hole.
Dude, he is so excited to be in Go mode and heading to G Tower. Like this is a pretty decent time, I gotta say.
Yeah, for as late as that Go mode was. 120 Go mode doesn't always feel amazing, but this is going to be a good time for the seed that they've been throwing.
Better than my 142 Go mode I had earlier today.
Oh my god.
Still one.
Ooh, too far right for Flip there. You gotta be not against the wall.
Sometimes C players use the mirror there, just so they don't waste time messing up.
Yeah.
But at this point, it doesn't really matter because you don't really need either. Whether you have mirror or hookshot doesn't really matter going into GT.
Yeah, I think technically in this case it's still faster to have taken the Turtle Rock warp. But you have to deal with more dead rocks that way.
Now, I'd say the only way eLmaGus can somehow catch up is if it's tile room and Flip full clears before checking tile room, while eLmaGus checks that like immediately. That's it.
This could be a left-right deal.
eLmaGus is so far behind in T. He still has so much to do in T-Rock. This is a lot longer
be
dungeon.
Left-right as well as eLmaGus pulling out some of his solid MMG skills to just blow through the gauntlet.
I don't know, but at the same time, Flip is... I mean, it's really hard to like compare execution when you got Gold Sword and all these safeties.
I will say that I've seen Flip a little shaky at times throughout the dungeons, but there's been times as well for eLmaGus. So it's I would think eLmaGus has been a teeny tiny bit stronger in the execution, just in movement, but that doesn't really make a big difference when you're doing the gauntlet with all the tools that they have.
The other frustrating thing is the fact that you checked so much extra stuff and still didn't find like the silver arrows. It's got to be frustrating. Oh, look, the silver arrows. Here they are. Well, this is easy mode now. All right.
And if they really want, they can go get the red mail in the library.
It's a little too late for that.
Yeah. I think it was pretty clear that they weren't going to do that.
Chest number 4. Dude, this game's so exciting. It's making me yawn. Chest number 5. Chest number...
Alpha, stop it.
Chest number 7.
Business.
So, 5-year-old pellet? Alright, well... This looked like a full left play from Flip, so... If it ends up being on the right side, now eLmaGus goes full right off the bat, you know, it
was a small key there.
Could be a little more interesting. But you gotta think, like, you know how frustrating that would be to, like, be this far in the lead and then lose it on stupid G Tower?
Yeah.
Dungeon stinks. But here's the thing, eLmaGus is... He's saving time not having to check a bunch of stuff in T-Rock, so he just has to finish off Trinex. So if it is on the right side, this is actually going to be pretty close, I think.
Yeah, he's going to probably crush Trinex. I mean, he won't have the gold sword most likely, but... Yeah, no gold sword for eLmaGus, but Trinex with a tempered is just as fine.
Chest number...
That was 8, right? No, 9, sorry. 8 was the one I wanted, 9 was the one after it, so we're coming up on 10.
Alright, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? 10, 11, 12, wow. 13, oh man, this is getting
Sweet roof.
Dude, I love these tempered sword backdoor strats on Trinex. They just look so crispy.
Yeah, both players have an amazing Trinex fight. Flip with the 0 cycle. eLmaGus not able to do it with no gold, but still.
Got that beautiful double spin slash to finish him off.
That was even faster than Flip's finish off of that phase, so...
Now, if he had just did the double spin, switch to hookshot slash, then it would have been perfect. But really good fight from him. All right, chest numbered 14.
I'm not helping you. Learn to count.
That's chat's job. That's not my job.
Coming up on 15 to 17 now.
Right. If it's not back here and eLmaGus goes right, then we got a game. Though eLmaGus will potentially miss the silver arrows, so. There it is!
There it is.
And the magnet!
Flip going upstairs before eLmaGus goes into the doorway.
Yo, shoutouts to whoever guessed chest number 16. You did it. High five.
Good work, Chad.
Well, you know, at the same time, like, of course we want a close race, but I would be frustrated for the player to lose it because of G-Tower routing.
Yeah, that's very true. And Flip with the Lumberjack Intel has really saved himself from doing some terrible choices, so it really shows how efficiently he did his routing.
But yeah, that's the thing, is like both these players had good routing and made really good decisions that led to good items. It's just Flip's. I think it really just came down to the Eastern Palace play. If eLmaGus had gone there after pod, much like Flip did, it would have been different. Could have been something.
Yeah, and the other difference too being because Flip found everything but the emits for so long, there was so much less that he could have to do to get to that last item he needed. Whereas eLmaGus had almost the entire game open to him.
Yeah, that's the problem about finding. Sometimes when you find the mits a little too early, it can be kind of an issue. But eLmaGus does get the silver arrows, but he will be getting a full clear, so it's going to be, what, chest 22 for him then? No, 21. 22 would be Tower Room. So Tower Room is always last.
Easy one cycle.
Dude, he might as well have just walked into that room and just let the door open.
Stuff looks a lot kinder to eLmaGus there.
Well, I know for a fact they don't usually like to be run into a bunch of times with your face.
Ooh.
Oh, missing that.
Stuff like this that gives eLmaGus a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, I think he was a little too early on the breaking up the switch. Oh, but look at that. eLmaGus having to use the red boomerang. Missing out on that blue boomerang from Batcave is going to cost him a little bit of time there.
Yeah. Fortunately, he knows the diagonal strats for that room. It's kind of annoying to do it, but he has probably practiced that.
Strats are a little bit faster than the one I know, where you just throw it off screen and hope for the best. Alright, Flip makes it upstairs. Up to the last floor. Ooh! I've never seen that before.
That was pretty cool.
I never really thought about that. I'm sure it saved a couple frames, but it looked cool.
Gonna have to get some math on that later. See if that's faster.
Dude, you gotta task it out a little bit.
That was definitely a cool strat, though. Do not need to check any more chests. We are out of here.
Who would have thought a single bonk could make or break an entire race? If eLmaGus doesn't do that bonk,
He deserves to lose if he doesn't.
He deserves it. Guys, you gonna check the chest? Of course not. He's playing to win. But what if it was... Actually, I don't think it could be anything at all that I could think of. I think we got everything. I think we got everything in the game.
We know exactly where the mushroom,
or at least saw everything.
Shields, and red bale are. I think it's a bottle is open to us still.
Maybe.
A remaining bottle.
Ooh, that might have... I think that was a 2. Might have been a 3. That's a 2. Alright, and just as Flip finishes off Aga 2, eLmaGus will be starting his climb up the gauntlet. So at this point, it's about a 6-7 minute, I'd say. Because a gauntlet, climb up the gauntlet's usually about 5 minutes, if you're quick.
This was a larger gap than I had anticipated after re-anticipating a second time.
The G-Tower route didn't help him too much?
No.
Alright, Gold Sword in hand, just gonna be 6 slashes for the first 2 phases, then 4 slashes, then 4 silvers to put him down. This fight is basically over. Just like that. It's a really easy fight when you have all these things, all this health, all the safeties you can imagine. Nice dash
magic to boot, if he really feels like throwing a cape on. Which I don't think he needs to. Probably see him switch to the bow as well before the lamp. Although it might be something he wants to do to play it safe. Let's just get the lamp out. 100% guarantee a torch glitch.
Torch glitch with silvers? What's the point?
Sometimes players like to not get batted.
No.
I don't know about you, but I've been batted out of this part before.
Okay.
Right off the map.
You know, I'll give it to you.
But he's gonna get it anyway, so.
Sometimes it's cool to stall a little bit, so you can try and set up like a double or a triple.
Yeah. With the fire rod tech to help it out. Ooh,
watch out!
Oh boy!
That was a little close. Nah, he's got it.
But we're fine. That was scary.
That was, yeah. You can see that turning nerves sticking it or coming in there when you're looking at the
still would have won,
SRTV.
but that was scary.
Right. But still, it's like you're looking at SRTV. You're looking for that dot done, but instead you get to be the dot dunner. And Flip finishes with an official SRTV time of 1:41.48, and congratulations to them. He is now 5-0 and has secured a spot on the next stage of the tournament in the bracket stages. So that's pretty freaking hype.
Yeah, GG to Flip. An excellent performance. There was this is like the typical start, like even top runners have hiccups, of course. So it's just a typical occasional mistake. It is overall a really good run. So definitely showing. I mean, honestly, he is 5-0.
There were no mistakes. I don't think there were really any mistakes in this run between the two players. It's just
it was more like
it's just a matter of luck.
Yeah, the mistakes were like the minor little, oops, I did this one thing, like I threw a boomerang the wrong way. Like, not really a mistake kind of thing.
Yeah, these guys both played really, really well. And Flip just had the better routing, I think.
Yep. It's the willingness to go into that Eastern.
Mm-hmm. And just think though, had he put the pieces together and gone and done Blacksmith, you know, he could have go-moded 3 dungeons.
Yeah. That would have been a real quick one if he put that together that way. Although he still would have had to go to T-Rock eventually.
Mm-hmm. This is kind of why I think the Eastern Palace play, or just in general the Sphere 1 locations, like the locations that you have right off the bat after Escape, I feel like if you want to put them off until later, don't put them off for too long. Because there's always a good chance that your opponent probably will check them at some point, or already checked them. Because, I mean, when you have these locations that you can go to right at the beginning of the game, you know, one of these guys could have had boots at like 8 minutes in. So, I mean, of course, you know, it's all hindsight, but I know I've lost a race because of putting off Eastern Palace for too long.
Yeah.
Kind of Eastern Palace, so.
Each player has their own choices. I know I have a really weird one when it comes to Eastern Palace myself, so it's...
Ooh, it's a beautiful angle.
Yeah, both players are wonderful Aga too.
And, you know, at the same time, like, this could have easily been a seed that there was nothing in Eastern. Could have had nothing. It's very possible. But, GG's to Flip. It appears Flip does not have a working microphone or Discord. It's just being a butt, so I want to congratulate you on your run. Congratulations on hitting 5-0. He says, I was planning to play Eastern early, but early Hammer, Mirror, Pearl, and Cac changed my whole plan. Yeah, it was interesting. Both you and eLmaGus had similar routes. Both you guys did pod using sequence breaks to a certain degree. It's just that you mirrored and did Eastern afterwards, but eLmaGus did not. So his go mode item ended up being Boots and then Cane of Samaria. He had Mitts. Yeah, instead of doing Eastern, he went and did Skull Woods, and he got the Mitts, which ended up costing him more time because he all of a sudden unlocked a whole bunch of extra stuff to do.
Yep.
While you, without Mitts, kind of ran out of options pretty quickly, which allowed you to go do Eastern a little bit earlier and get Boots and Shovel and all that. So.
Yeah, eLmaGus's route in that section of it seemed really odd. Just really didn't want to go to Thieves Town, and then ended up doing Skullwoods over Eastern, and also falls down the hole. No.
That's unfortunate. And now he's down, and now he doesn't have any magic either.
Yeah, he might have a potion. I don't know. If
he has a blue.
Yeah, I think he bought a blue.
I'd like to get Flip in here because chatting via text is not fun, and I wanna ask him like actual questions, like what was your thoughts of when you found the flute? And now we wait.
Yeah, the flute on Aga is pretty cool. See, I would love to hear his opinion on that.
I'm curious, with that half magic, wonder if eLmaGus can get at least like 2 lantern uses.
He might only need 1, depending on where he torch torches Ganon.
Looked like enough. Yeah, nice 1 and 1, just showing how even without the gold sword, you could still get through this fight pretty quickly, or within the same amount of time.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, there we go.
GG's, my friend.
Thank you.
That was a bit of a noodle scratcher. We had, Futon and I had a lot of fun putting the pieces together. How'd you feel about how you played that seed?
Man, early on I was feeling pretty good. Just the general routing. But my plan, like I said in chat, was to play Eastern early. And so, coming out of pod, I knew I had some options, but I figured, especially with Flute being where it was, like, it's kind of a trek back here, so might as well check it now.
Yeah, that's true. It's, the thing is, like, for both of you guys, it seemed like, there would have been no other better time to check Eastern than right after pod.
Right.
And especially with you having the knowledge of the flute, it's like, well, I'm never going to get that green pendant, hopefully. So I would even have less of a reason to ever come back here. So
that was it. I feel like every time I walked into a pendant dungeon, my fear was like, did eLmaGus just get the flute and find everything in Mire or Mire Shed or whatever? But until I had Mitts, I wasn't too worried about it. And since I found Mitts so late, didn't stress over it too much, I guess. Mitts were on Mothula, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, they were. Well, it was interesting because we were putting all the pieces together, and you'll have to go back and watch this and hear our fumbling thought process. But it was interesting because it'd be like, okay, so Lamp leads to like these items, but Lamp was blocked by Flippers, so where's Flippers? We were like, all right, Flippers has to be in Eastern, but then they weren't. Like, all right, Flippers has to be in Desert, but it was a sword. Like, oh, okay. It was just it was really funny to see it all work out together, and we kind of put the piece together and realized that after you got the Mitts, by logic, the Flippers could not have been up on Death Mountain or at T-Rock because of where the flute was and because of where the lamp was.
Oh, that's true.
So
yeah, because when I got the Mitts, I went straight to T-Rock, hoping to find, at that point, just the Flippers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the last thing you were looking for, which we had already known was at the Blacksmiths, which was also a bit of a noodle scratcher because we hadn't seen the items in Desert. Because it was like, you need a sword to get the Mitts, to get the Flippers, to get the lamp, to go up to Death Mountain, to get 2 of the swords. So like, all right, well, there has to be a sword in Desert Palace, and then there was. So that kind of made everything... It put all the pieces together for us, but And fortunately for you, because of how late you got the mitts, you kind of ran out of stuff to do. A lot quicker than eLmaGus, so he full cleared Swamp, he full cleared Ice Palace.
And then he had the flippers.
Yeah, and then he ended up. So he did all that stuff before finally going back to Eastern Palace, as well as a few other like single locations like Ether Tablet.
Yeah.
And then after getting the shovel and boots, he did all the boot stuff before finally checking the shovel as his last option. And so then he had to go back, finish Desert, and then do all of T-Rock, which it was a very friendly T-Rock for Go mode, because you could skip Laser Bridge, skip a few things. But...
Yeah. Yeah, I was on Laser Bridge hoping to find the flippers, and I was like, well, crap.
And the other like interesting thing is, had Big Key ended up being on right side, you guys would have gone from like a 3-minute difference to like a minute difference or something. Because he ended up going right side first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but then it ended up being after Ice Armos. And of course...
Did he go right side all the way through Ice Armos?
No, he went right side to the small key and then mirrored and went left side.
Yeah.
So he did get the silvers. But
yeah, I was very thankful for that.
That was a very friendly spot for the silvers.
No kidding.
But with that, eLmaGus has finished with a time of 1:50.51. Close race. Both put on a heck of a show. Flip moving on to the bracket stage is at 5-0. Still has 2 races to do just for the heck of it. eLmaGus falling out of 4-1. Just has to get 1 more to make it in the next stage, and he has 2 more attempts, so still a good chance we'll see both you guys. We'll be seeing both you guys maybe duke it out in the bracket stages as well.
Yeah, that was a heck of a seed. It was a fun match.
Yeah, we do have eLmaGus in here. GG's, my friend.
Good morning, GG.
Hey, GG.
GG's.
That was a heck of a seed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like I did anything wrong, but yeah.
You didn't.
Just really unfortunate that both items ended up being in Eastern, honestly.
Yeah, we were anticipating the mirror after pod into Eastern, which is what Flip did from both of you guys. And then you ended up going and doing Mothula, which ended up getting you the mitts, which was still, good. But
Yeah.
getting early boots and then Kena Samaria.
Yeah.
And full clearing everything he could before finally getting the mitts allowed him to go mode Ice and Swamp. And,
Okay.
But it's unfortunate. Somehow that's how it goes sometimes with Rando. But
Yeah, it was made for me to lose, pretty much. I don't know.
Fortunately, sitting at 4-1, you still have 2 more chances. All you gotta do is get 1 more win. And, but at the same
I don't
time,
even...
it's like you want that 5-0. You want to just be done. You're like, all right, put me in bracket stages. Let me go home.
Yeah. I mean, I'm traveling now for RPG Limit Break as well, so yeah.
Now.
That's why I had to play. Like, I mean, I had to get up at 4:30 a.m. for this one as well, so.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's why I don't feel particularly bad about this, honestly. But yeah, I mean, once I saw it all done at the end there, like the Ganon fights and stuff, I just like turned my brain off because it's too early. But yeah.
Fair enough.
That was just like, I knew I lost, so.
But either way, GG's to both you guys. This wasn't a very interesting seed, just how it played out and how it was one of those seasons where everything kind of chained off of each other. One item like pretty much led to everything else, and mostly the flippers and lamp were like the main source of like information about how the rest of the seed was going to go, and especially that flute at Lumberjack Cave was a noodle scratcher. Fortunately, neither player got that or did Aga Tower. We were kind of worried you were going to head there, eLmaGus, after you checked it before going to Shovel.
I mean, I had 1 location left, and if that's like the case, no.
Yeah. I figured.
No.
We were also glad that you didn't mirror out after getting Shovel. If you had gotten like boots first instead of Shovel, then would you have considered mirroring out of Eastern at that point?
No, at that point, like, I have still little locations left. I need to check everything that I have, and I mean, yeah. If I would go in after Pod and find the boots first, I might consider actually just bailing, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it was a pretty crazy back and forth. We actually couldn't really pinpoint how close you guys actually were once both you guys hit go mode. Flip hitting it around the 121 mark and eLmaGus hitting it around the 128 mark. So, but yeah, then it was go mode swamp and ice for Flip versus finishing all of desert and then go mode T-Rock. And T-Rock's a pretty dang long dungeon. It would have been relatively close if the big key ended up being on the right side G Tower, but of course it had to be an Ice Armos, which is awful when you do right side to left side. You're like, oh, if I had just gone full right, but if you had gone full right, you would have missed silvers. So
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
G Tower is literally the worst. But yeah, that's gonna go back to Kisane. No, maybe.
Hey, I want to say thanks to Willard Futon and Space Cowboy for commentating and tracking. This was fun.
Yeah, thank you. Of course. It's a good time. Always a good time here on Speed Gaming 5, the only Speed Gaming channel that matters. But yeah, GG's to both of you guys for putting on a great race. I better see both of you. I mean, I know I'll see Flip in brackets, so have a good trip, eLmaGus, for RPG Limit Break. Are you doing any runs there? Or you just?
Yeah, I have 2 runs there actually.
Nice. Which ones?
I'm playing Soul Blazer and Lufia 2 Ancient Cave.
Oh man, I have to make sure to take a look and check it out. Look forward to seeing that. But that is gonna do it for us here on Speed Gaming 5. There's nothing else left on this channel following this. But if you want more randomizer action, there are actually 2 more races going on Speed Gaming 1. Wow, it's really late. One actually starting right now. I believe that is JTB versus 0X. So there you go. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys to the runners for putting on a fantastic display. That was a heck of a seed to watch and commentate. Of course, thank you to Futon for commentating with me, and Space Cowboy for tracking some of it.
Thanks again, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, shouts to Speed Gaming for putting on this awesome tournament. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.